Wait,
reflecting
hold
on it.
on. I will
Yeah.
pause right there. I am so curious. From your place of knowing the retreating and the not knowing, and I'm curious about how this translates to your behavior. And I really wish I remembered. You just said the word. I cannot believe I can't remember it.
Masking. I had no tolerance.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So the no tolerance spaces, do you have a sense of what that looks like behaviorally with other people?
Mhm.
And if you do, let me ask, do you or not do you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Then share what that is, but also share how you knew what it was.
Yeah. So, and I will say this is hard to share because I wish it wasn't true. That my behavior, I guess my feelings, I don't know how much it translated into my behavior, but I felt defensive. I felt angry. And I think the way that translated into my behavior is I was so closed off. So I stopped reaching out to my peers. And so I became very lonely in a program that I didn't need to feel lonely in. My cohort mates would go have lunch together and they would go, I like it actually, I feel like I missed out on a lot of opportunities of connection because I totally retreated and my behavior was like, I didn't want to engage in conversations because I didn't know how to take space, not take space, talk about these things. And I didn't know how to be helpful, harmful, contribute. And so I just stopped engaging. And when I would be in classrooms, I would come in early. I would sit by myself. I wouldn't talk to folks. I wouldn't raise my hand as often, which if anybody knows me and maybe are getting a sense here, I'm pretty like lively and unhinged and weird and wooey. And it's very obvious when I'm not. And all of a sudden I was becoming so isolated.
Mm.
And the way that if you ask this question of like, how did I start to identify that behavior? Is that what you asked?
Yeah, like how did you come to know that's what you were doing?
Mhm. I think I knew that the anger and the defensiveness wasn't actually prompted by anything that was happening on the outside world. Like nobody was actually doing anything to me. And
Hmm,
I remember that
interesting.
it was just all this perception that I was having. I'm getting like warm thinking about it because I think about so many folks who maybe get stuck in that space
Mhm.
of angry and defensive. And then it turns into this flipping over of privilege isn't real, or I earned my keep, or how dare you challenge these things in me, or I have a right to have these conversations. And I found myself looking for other ways where I'm not in positions of privilege to, oh, I know what it's like, right? Like I was raised by queer moms, or like I identify as a queer person, or I'm a woman. And those things are true. And those things are valid. And those are positions where I'm not entirely holding power and privilege. However, those are entirely different from my identity as a white social worker. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I just didn't want to look at it. And so I think I get a little bit like a little emotional thinking. If you are stuck there, I hope you can start to notice if you're like hearing these things of I'm also experiencing it, not you specifically, of course, listeners. I'm experiencing this feeling of defensiveness and aggression. There was something there for me. And what ended up happening is I was in a group project. I'll share this kind of briefly. And it was interactive and it was talked very openly about me being a white social worker. And it was really called out the way that I affected others by not looking at how I'm taking space. And I left feeling so angry and betrayed and defensive because I had never had it openly called out. I'd been doing this work internally. I'd been having these thoughts of maybe I'm ignorant. Maybe I don't know these things. And then I had folks going, do you know that that is also you perpetuating? Do you know that that is also you being in that position? And these folks that are just calling it out. And I am like, how dare they make me so uncomfortable?
Right.
And so I was like, this is not resonating with me. And I ended up
Mm.
doing some writing about the fear that I was having. why am I so angry and defensive? What am I so scared of? And I was really scared that because I was a white social worker, I was never going to be able to actually help folks that were from different spaces. That my power and privilege separated me in a way that I wasn't able to be helpful. But it was like that anger and that defensiveness that I had to sit with and to go, that's not my nature. That's not who I am. These
Mhm.
people are lovely. I really want to be friends with them. I really want to connect. And I had to sit in that and go, what is that? Because it's not them. It's not these
Right.
conversations. It's in me. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.